So Jonas and I are here to present the assurance strategy of Cisco, right? And this is not the first time we're sharing it. We have shared it last year as well in this forum. What we are going to showcase is first do a quick recap of what we shared last time, show a snapshot of the progress we have made so far, and then jump onto a demo to show all the capabilities that we have. Now, last time in this forum, we talked a lot about the direction the assurance is taking strategy-wise, right? And that was mainly focusing on leveraging various Cisco technology, how we can use those and build a sophisticated assurance solution, a solution that works for full stack visibility, a solution that can provide our customers visibility into their user experience, right? We talked about 4 key elements that power assurance or power the user experience: the health of client, network devices, infrastructure connectivity, and application. And our commitment remained the same. We are still enhancing the visibility into these 4 key elements. Every time we build a new assurance feature or trying to improve an existing one, we always go back to 3 major pillars of our assurance strategy. Firstly, detection, right? We want to make it really easy for our customers to detect and visualize issues in real time. Secondly is remediation, right? We want to provide our customers clear, actionable remediation steps so that they can quickly resolve issues and reduce mean time to resolution, right? Then the final thing, the key thing, is confidence. Confidence of our customers. How do we gain the trust of our customers, right? We want to empower our customers with all the tools that they need and the real-time data that they need to gain trust into the insights, the why behind the insights that we are providing, right? And those are the 3 main pillars that we are equally putting a lot of effort in to provide a visibility and also help them provide great user experience, right? So that they can detect and remediate issues with confidence. Now, this is the exact slide we shared last year with you guys. This is the roadmap we shared, and we told you okay, these are all of the stuff that we're working on, and plus some new stuff that you see on the slide, right? We worked over the last year. We made a lot of progress from making assurance easy to use, more intuitive, and intelligent. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of green check marks here, right? So instead of going into each one of them individually, it will take us the whole day. And I think right now we have only 20 minutes for our session. We are gonna go into the demo and showcase some of these features, bring them to life, and show you live what these capabilities are. So this is the assurance overview page that provides our customers the visibility into the health of their network, full stack network. We designed it in a way that it works and scale in full stack networks. Yeah.
I just have a clarification. You had said earlier they a couple times, and customer and client. Who are you referring to? The IT guys who are managing Meraki network, or the actual end user who's experiencing the problem?
So the customers are the IT managers who are managing the network, and end users are the one that they're supporting, that using their networks.
Do end users have access to see this assurance information?
They don't. It's about providing those IT managers visibility into how the experience of their end users when they're accessing network or trying to access resources over the network, right? So this is kind of what it provides is a continuous and proactive monitoring, right? As you can see with OneScore, we are trying to showcase the health of the network. So it gives you continuous monitoring. It also lets you know if there is an degradation happening in any part of your network. Now, how do we come up with this score? It comprised of the 4 key elements that I mentioned before, right? The health of clients, devices, infrastructure connectivity, and application. Now, if you look at the client section, the way we are doing this is based on connection type. How are clients connecting to your network via wireless, wired, or remote? Are they having any problem in any of the steps that they're taking in connecting to the network, like association, authentication, IP address? Are they seeing any kind of a loss, latency, all this sort of stuff, right? And then you can quickly go in and then look at which clients are impacted by which issue. So you can see there is one client impacted, and it's impacted by no DHCP response. So you can get more details and more visibility into what sort of issue that your clients are having. Then similarly, on the network device section, this is more about the device health, not the infrastructure connectivity like your STP connection or connection between your AP and switches, but more about the health of individual devices. How's your AP CPU memory doing? How's your security appliance utilization is, right? So you can take a look at them from here. If there's any issue, it will show up here, and you can see like, hey, okay, so the device utilization is peaking around this time, and it's an issue, right? It might be impacting your the clients in the network when the device utilization is peaking.
What kind of utilization would that be? Are you talking like CPU utilization, your ISP bandwidth utilization?
So this one that I just showed is based off of security appliance CPU utilization.
But what part? You said the WAN security?
WAN security. So when you're looking at WAN appliance, that's looking at the security appliance CPU usage. And then also like same way, if you look at switches, the CPU usage of the switch, individual switches, and how they're doing.
Just the actual hardware component.
Yeah. Then the infrastructure connectivity that looks at across 20 metrics, monitor 20 metrics across LAN, WAN, VPN, and RF environment. Then application, thanks to ThousandEyes, now we have visibility into application as well, right? The whole thing is to provide visibility end to end. Like how's the connection between a client and an end application, right? Now, infrastructure connectivity is one of our newest addition. We just recently added it, and you can quickly see here, hey, there was like a high latency that was happening on WAN 1, and you can quickly surface that here, right? But all this is good, like you're detecting the issue. One question that network engineers always find themselves asking whenever they're seeing issue and everything was working fine and there was an issue is what changed, right? So if we go here, we see the score timeline over the last day. And we see that there is some problems over here with the infrastructure connectivity. And we just saw there was an issue with the WAN appliance. And if I want to know what changed, I can just simply look at the configuration timeline and then look at what exactly changed in the network that is causing this issue, right? And also at the same time, as you can see, when the score is reverted, the score goes back up. Now that's the power of this at a glance view of like, hey, configuration changes and all of the network data is in one place. Yeah.
Could this be added with AI to have told you that rather than having to go into the timeline to pull it up? You have the data, and it's just a query saying, if I made a change, did I have what went worse? Then you report it.
Yeah, so we do right now, there's some intelligence into like how we are detecting these configuration changes and if they're impacting network, right? We rely on our experts and then see like, okay, these are the changes most likely to impact your network performance. Let's try to monitor them whenever there is a degradation, right? But with AI, we can build solution and we plan to kind of go heading that way where we can use AI to improve the accuracy and improve the accuracy of that correlation. How is this change impacting your performance?
And
right?
to build on that, Are you baselining some of these where you're over time you're establishing specific baselines, or are they hard set? So latency, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Latency on a WAN uplink can be because the ISP changed or something like that. Are you baselining that latency, or are you just setting hey, if it's over 200 milliseconds of latency, that's bad?
Yeah, so the way we are baselining this is we are looking across the board, like all of our customers, right, across Meraki, and how this latency loss, these metrics that we're using here and the thresholds that we need to use, we define those thresholds based on that, right? So that is kind of the first step towards having more, having thresholds that are more relevant, like what have meaningful impact on your network.
Sure.
That's how we are determining it. But soon what we are planning on doing is, how can we personalize these thresholds, right?
Sure.
Just looking at the specific network that you're looking at that data, and coming up with those dynamic thresholds.
Okay,
that we can
so they're
provide.
fixed threshold values for most of those. Okay, cool, thanks.
I noticed when you showed the WAN latency being high, it was still showing the WAN connection as green.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's still good.
Yes, and that is a bug.
When
and that is a bug.
Okay.
We're supposed to see
But
that.
yeah,
Come on, Peter.
yeah, there's a lot of improvement that we're doing to this page continuously. And one thing I would just want to call out, the amount of effort that our entire team is putting into this is, the moment our customers use one of these feedback button and tell us like something is broken, hey, this is not how it should be, those becomes a bug, and we fix them as soon as possible, right? And this also helps us, because one thing to keep in mind with this kind of score, they're really subjective, right? How can we make them more objective? This is a very challenging task. So this kind of feedback loop from our customers is helping us get there, right? Yeah.
To just a quick note for this, I've did some troubleshooting with Meraki, and I have to say it has improved quite a bit since last time I did. One thing that would be useful then for the feedback is be able to give a score, but maybe for specific clients. Because I was doing like troubleshooting for a hospital, and then they had issues with like iPad and ultrasound machines, but then the VoIP headset was working well. So if I can say, the score doesn't really, and the score was good. So the score didn't really reflect what we were seeing in the field. So if I could say, the iPads are having a little bit more trouble than my VoIP phones, then maybe it would be, it would be nicer for the admin.
Got it. Yeah. So Jonas has actually something he's going to share today. Okay. And that will, I think, answer your question, like how you can provide feedback when there's a specific client that you're troubleshooting and it's not lining up with, the score is not lining up with like how the problem that this client is saying.
Yes. So this is nice to have like an overview, but usually when we do troubleshooting, we're looking at one client and we're trying to kind of pinpoint what's wrong with that client.
Got it. All right. So now this is a great tool to when you're troubleshooting just one network. But most network engineers, they're in charge of multiple sites, multiple networks, right? So how can we help them scale that? Soon, we are going to launch this organization summary page. Some of you might have seen this already on dashboard, but it looks different because we are revamping that page to be more assurance-centric. The way this page helps our customers, the first thing is, off the bat, you can see any of your critical devices are down. Are they offline? Are they disconnected from the cloud, right? And you can just get that information from the first section here. Then you can quickly look at your organization insights. How many networks are impacted in the last day? And which networks are performing the worst, right? Or which networks are trending down? Then you can also look at any network from this place and then see what is the top issue and what kind of impact it's having on your network in terms of clients and network devices.
Right. That's the question. Just what it might be a simple question. What do you define as a network?
Network here. So the way we define a network is based off of like the network you create on the dashboard. those are the network that shows up in this.
Like a
Right?
site.
So,
Okay, so like a
sites.
site.
Yeah,
That's-
you can
that's
call it a
an
site.
XID.
Yeah,
Or sub-
yeah. You can call it a site. Maybe let's say in this building, if you have one network, you can either have it on one network or you can divide it out into 2 different networks on dashboard, and that becomes the definition of network for us as well. Right. I know we're running out of time here. The last thing I would say is these are a good tool. Like, as I mentioned, the 3 pillars, detection, right? It's good in terms of detection, but how do you remediate issues, right? Recently, we have added RCA for around 115 alerts. Whenever you see an alert, the fundamental questions you ask is like when it occurred, how frequently it's happening, what does it mean, what kind of impact it's having on your network, right? Once those are answered, you can just simply go to the suggested action and then take or do like a root cause analysis and take steps to fix the issue right from here. Instead of trying to navigate across different pages on dashboard, trying to figure out where a device is located, where a switch is located, and then do the troubleshooting. You can do all of this from here and then solve it from here, right?
This is available already?
Yes. So there are like 115 alerts. So the one that you're seeing here, this is more like a detailed RCA. But there is another type of RCA that we did is more basic. It's basically, it shows you those answers. It provides the answer to those fundamental questions, and then also give you suggested action that are more text-based, not like as intelligent as this one that I'm showcasing here.
Okay.
Right? But those 115 RCAs all are available right now.
I feel like this page is hidden too far in some menu. I feel like this page is hidden too far in some menu. It needs to be brought out more. Just in my opinion.
No, that's a valid feedback. Yeah. All right. So I know we are running out of time, so I'm going to hand it off to Jonas to talk more about like, hey, you don't always have the time to sit in front of a laptop and monitor a dashboard. How do you get notified? Right.
So, thank you. Right, I'm gonna grab a chair because yesterday was leg day, so I need a little bit of support. First thing first, personally, it's been on my bucket list to present to you because I've been a fan of the event for years. I'm really happy to show you something cool today. And as Ibaka was talking about, we definitely want to provide you with an option to get the right level of attention for the things that are happening within your organization. And the way that we did it is we took a page that you've probably seen previously, and actually he was showing it a couple of seconds ago, the alerts page. And you've been requesting a lot for a feature that basically lets you get the alerts that you really need. Those alerts are really, really important for your business needs. And what does it mean by that? Well, it's simply called alerts profile. So now you can configure alerts that are going to get triggered only for the things that you care about, from the places that you care about, your networks. And also, we're going to send a notification in a mechanism that makes sense to you. So to give you a quick demo here, we have a profile that's called East. It includes certain type of alerts. You can see here it's called reachability, and I've chosen some bad internet connection alerts, ISP issues from reachable devices. You can choose anything you want. I also choose which networks are going to get triggered from, right? I'm going to assume these are all my East Coast networks. And then I choose what email and what webhook servers I want to send these alerts to. You might have a webhook server that is just for the east side of your deployment. You can choose it here. If you want to have one that is for the West Coast, then you can choose it here. You say that, and once one of those alerts gets triggered, then you're going to receive that notification. You can configure several profiles. It's all a matter of what makes sense to your business. Any questions on this one? Okay. Now,
Can you zoom in so we can read what you're doing?
zoom in on the page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so I'm going to move next to a feature that is going to try to address the concern that you brought up. How can you troubleshoot a single client at a time? We have identified that most of you probably spend more than 50% of your time troubleshooting a single client. a single device in your network. And to be honest, this is probably the page that you are pretty familiar with when those situations come up, right? You open the page, you find a client, and you need or you want to guess what's happening with it. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with dashboard, this is what we call the detailed page view for a client. It has all the information for a particular client. But there's a couple of things that this page does not a good job on. First, it only shows you the current information for the client. It doesn't let you figure it out when an issue began to happen. Usually your tickets, the tickets that you get will ask you a question, when did the issue begin? It might have began 3 days ago or like a week ago. Also, you don't know what the issue was from here. There's no way for you to tell you. Now, if you want to guess what the issue was like on Monday, what you will do is you're going to start jumping between page logs or event logs on dashboard, and you can start opening tabs, and you want to waste like 15, 20 minutes doing that. To be honest, you don't need to do it. We already have all the data that tells you what was wrong with the client. And we have done that work, and we have brought up a new revamped page that's going to just tackle that use case. Word of caution, this is live code. This is a live network. And this is the first time we're showing this to the public. And I want to call your attention in this timeline view here. This timeline will show you every onboarding issue that the client has seen on the time frame that you have selected. Now you don't need to be jumping between pages. All those events will be shown here. And what I mean by onboarding issues, well, association, authentication, DHCP, and DNS problems. And that means that if you are asked what happened with this client on this time frame or this particular timestamp, you can just click on it and go back in time. And now we're going to tell you exactly what the issue was. Here we can see we have a DHCP problem, and I can expand and even tell you if that issue was caused by another Meraki device within the network. Quick example here, we can see that the client couldn't connect to the network because he had a DHCP problem. And we see that the next device is complaining about not having any more IP addresses to give. Now you don't need to be guessing and opening logs across pages to put 2 and 2 together. We're going to show all of that within one page. More importantly, if there's an RCA for one of these events, like the one that Divakar shown, we're going to bring that RCA window here, and you can fix the problem right away. You don't need to be moving to a different page just to fix a problem. There are 2 more points that I want to mention really quickly. One of those tickets that you get usually don't have a good information about the location of where the issue was seen. For example, they might say, hey, I was on the 5th floor, and I don't know what access points I was connected to when I saw the problem. So we are also solving for that, because the topology view that you see here is now going to include historical information. What that means is that if you click on an event, we're going to do something very similar to the virtualization feature called snapshot. We're going to take a snapshot of the topology, and once you click on it, we're going to bring that in here. So if this event happened on the 5th floor, the topology here will show the topology on the 5th floor. But if this one here happened on the 2nd floor, we're going to show the information for the 2nd floor. So you don't need to be asking the user, hey, which window were you close to on the 5th floor to figure out what was wrong. And yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick. So you mentioned authentication is one of the things that you're classifying on. Does that include roaming issues?
No roaming issues, just pure authentication, like radio, bad password, and so on. We're going to improve the data we bring in, but include other expanded features like roaming and so on pretty soon.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Last point, really quickly, it's applications. A lot of you usually get tickets from users saying they cannot open an application, and it's usually not the network. It's the application having an outage. So thanks to Thousands, we're going to bring that data in, and if there's an outage for Office, we're going to show that here, and that will be an event on the timeline. So you'll click on it, and you can see, oh, there's an outage for Office. All my LAN is good. I don't need to do anything else. It's just a problem on the application provider.
You said that was a separate application bringing in that?
Yes, this is thanks to the integration we launched with Thousands last year. So if the integration is active, you're going to see that icon here. All right, so that's a new feature we're going to be launching soon. If you want to participate in our private beta, please feel free to sign up. I'm going to put the QR code real quickly here. There's 2 more pieces that I want to call out. If you also want to be part of the beta for AI Assistant, please scan the code as well. And if you're going to be at Cisco Live, I'm going to be talking in depth about all these features on a technical seminar Sunday. So feel free to sign up if you want to know more. It's 4 hours of just assurance and 2 hours of me talking about the feature that you just saw.